Welcome, my friend. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm Jen Hilman, and in today's practice, I am going to guide you through some deep release stretches to relieve pain and tension along the entire length of your back. So if you struggle with back pain or just tightness and tension in the back, this is going to be the perfect practice for you. So go ahead and like this video. Leave your comments below, and while you're at it, you can subscribe to the channel. And for today's practice, we are going to be utilizing a pair of massage balls. Now, if you don't have your own massage balls, you can use some tennis balls, some lacrosse balls, some racquetballs, anything that's about this size. And I want to give a big shout out and special thank you to my friends at the Urbivore for sending me these amazing Cork massage balls. And Cork is a sustainable and renewable product, so it's wonderful to know that we are able to give back to the environment and be green and eco-conscious in our yogic practice. So thanks to the Herbivore, and if you're interested in checking out any of their eco-friendly and sustainable products, you can check out the link in the caption below. Now we are going to begin our practice sitting. So go ahead and find yourself in a comfortable seat and just have your props handy nearby, and we're just going to begin sitting comfortably on your mat. If you want to use a blanket or a cushion to sit on, if that feels more comfortable for you, by all means, this is your practice, so make it feel good for you. We'll begin by tuning into your breath. Let's just take these first few moments to drop into presence, connecting with your breath, connecting with your body. Just let yourself tune in and become aware of any sensations that you notice. Tightness in the hips or in the low back. Noticing any sensations through the mid or upper back, through the neck, shoulders. Just breathing that slow, deep breath. Are going to begin moving a little seated cat and cow. So with your hands resting comfortably on your knees, we'll inhale to lift your chest, roll your shoulders back, and curl your heart open towards the sky. A nice big deep inhale here. And as you exhale, we'll reverse, scooping your belly button in, curl your tailbone under, and tuck your chin down to your chest. Rounding through your back, you can gently lean back so you feel an easy stretch along the back of your spine. Then we'll inhale to open it up again. Nice big breath in as you arch your back, open through the chest, stretch your heart open. And exhale to curl it in, rounding through your spine. And again, we'll inhale to lift. Open it up. And exhale to curl it in, scooping everything in towards center as you stretch your back body. And we can take a couple more rounds here, just moving at your own pace, moving at the rhythm of your own breath. Inhale to open, exhale to round. So as we do this movement, we're taking a little personal inventory. Just notice the sensations you feel as you undulate and wave the spine. Notice if there's any areas that feel tight, anything that feels crunchy or sticky. You just feel into it. You don't have to change anything. Just become aware. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly return to center. Once you've completed your cat and cows, coming back to that nice easy seat. So let's take it into a little twist, reaching your left hand to your right knee. You can touch your right fingertips to the floor behind you as you gently rotate your spine. inhale nice and deep, a big full breath in as you extend up through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, begin to gently twist your heart around, working a deeper rotation, a deeper spiral as you rotate through the spine. And again, we're just taking a little inventory, just noticing, where do you feel tight? Where does it feel open? Just perceiving those sensations as you rotate your heart around. And we'll slowly inhale back to center. Coming back around to neutral. You can exhale as you settle in. And sweep that right hand across to your left knee. Touch your left fingertips down to the floor behind you. And again, let's inhale to lift up through the crown of the head, extending up through your spine. We create more space. Then as you exhale, you can begin to rotate, turning the heart around, getting a deeper rotation in the spine. Engaging through the strength of your core can help you find a little bit deeper rotation. Just noticing what you feel, be present for the journey. And we'll slowly release and unwind, opening it all back up to the front. Let's just gently wave the spine side to side. Almost like a cat and cow, but instead of going front to back, we're moving side to side. And we're just letting the movement carry you. You can let your head relax and be a part of the movement. Just feeling that gentle stretch as you wave the spine side to side. Good, then we'll slowly release and come on back to center. And just roll your head around. Nice easy circles here. Relaxing your shoulders as you roll your head in one direction. And when you're ready, we can roll the head the other way. Yes. Finding that release, softening through the neck. And bring your head back to center as you're ready. And we are going to transition now onto your back. Go ahead and grab your 2 massage balls, and we are going to begin to work along the spine. So as you come down onto your back, you can keep your feet flat to the floor, letting your knees roll up towards the sky. Now we are going to just incrementally work the massage balls up your back from the base of the tailbone all the way up to the base of your head. So we are going to start by lifting your hips away from the floor. You want to bring your 2 balls underneath your sacrum. So your sacrum is that big triangular bone at the base of your spine. And the sacrum is a major connector for all of the muscles in your glutes, for the muscles in your low back. All these muscles, tendons, and ligaments come together at your sacrum. And this is the very base of your pelvis. So all the weight of your spine and your shoulders and your back all come down into that sacral area. So it gets really compressed and it can get really tight. So as you bring these massage balls underneath the sacrum and start to relax the weight of your hips down onto the balls, you're gonna feel where that tension is along the sacrum. So you can settle into stillness here if that feels good. You can just relax into it. You can also play around with rocking the hips forward and back. Now this can be a very subtle movement. It doesn't have to be big, but as you gently rock forward and back, you are going to feel these balls move to different locations along the sacral plexus. So we are just gently exploring the region, noticing what you feel. You can also rock your weight side to side and see if that wakes up anything for you. Just rocking it back and forth, back and forth. Now, for any of you that are wanting maybe even more, even deeper pressure, you can achieve this by gently bringing your knees up to your hands, right? Then you can use your hands to secure your knees in place. And now the weight of your legs is driving even more weight down against the massage balls. So again, this is just an option for those of you that maybe want to get a little more out of the stretch. Now from here, we're going to slowly lift your hips up away from the balls and begin to roll your balls up a little bit higher to the very bottom of your lumbar curve, or right at the very, very top of your hips. So we've moved from the sacrum to the SI joint, and the SI joint is where the sacrum and the hip bone come together. And again, right there at the base of the spine, right there at the hips, all of our downward weight, we're sitting in our chairs, we're driving, all these things. It's compressing pressure into that SI joint, the sacroiliac joint. So a lot of times people will come to me and say, oh, my low back, but they're really talking about that SI joint. And that's where we start to see a lot of sciatic problems from tension in the glutes and in the SI joint. So this is an awesome way to release that place. And it's kind of a tight spot, and it's hard to get. It's hard to get to with massage and with yoga. But when you lie on the balls, you're able to really direct right into that space. And then again, you do have the option here. You can lift the knees up towards your chest and lean a little more weight, a little more pressure into the balls. And again, I invite you to explore some movement. You can play with rocking side to side. You can play with rocking your pelvis front to back. This is totally your journey. This is your chance to explore and play and just see what feels good for your body, right? This is totally about you, about taking time for you, taking care of your body, whatever it's asking for. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly release and lift the hips back up. And we are going to, again, just roll the balls a little further up the spine, moving towards the lumbar curve. Now, because your back naturally curves up away from the floor, your balls are going to fit real nicely under your low back. And you might find that you're not actually getting like enough downward pressure to actually feel any release. Some of you may be getting plenty, and if that's you, that's great. You can just enjoy it, breathe into it, and savor the moment. But when you're ready to get even more pressure, to get deeper, you can do a couple different things. One is just think about pressing your belly button. We engage the core, pressing your belly button down towards the earth. So we actively use some core strength to press down onto the balls. So that could give you the pressure that you need. You can also come back to bringing in the knees into the chest. Using your hands to pull the knees in will naturally start to give you more pressure into the low back. So you have a couple of ways that you can deepen the sensation. And then again, you have the option to rock it side to side, rock it front and back, or just play with stillness. If you find a sweet spot that just feels so juicy, and you want to hang out there, then get into that deep breath, slow, deep inhales, releasing that pressure. Try to savor the moment. Try to really enjoy the experience, even if it's a little tense, or intense. Try and just stay with it. Let it feel good. And then we will continue the journey up your spine. So again, you can curl your hips up. Keep rolling the balls up a little bit higher. Now we're coming towards the mid back. So we're leaving the lumbar region And still kind of in the lower portion of the back, but kind of the bottom of the mid back. Same deal. You're going to find that sweet spot just right where the massage balls want to be. This may give you enough pressure just as is. If you want a little more, you can actually start to lift your hips away from the floor. You don't want to go into like a full bridge pose because then you'll lose the balls. So you really just need a gentle lift, just pressing the hips up off of the earth, and finding a little more power and strength in the legs can give you more of that downward pressure. You also can curl the knees into the chest here. So there comes a point where bringing the knees into the chest is like not necessarily giving you the pressure that you want, but from about the middle of your back down to the sacrum, drawing the knees in, it's going to give you that extra bit of pressure. So feel free to play with it, explore, get curious, and take those deep breaths. I am a big fan of massage balls. I've always have been. I've used them for years. And they just do a tremendous job at targeting, really getting into those specific tight places where the tension is hiding, especially along the spine. I love to travel with my massage balls, whether it be in a road trip, a long drive in the car, or even on a plane. You know what I'm talking about. The hips get tight, the back gets tight, starts to ache. You can do some really great work with your massage balls, even just right in the car or on a plane. It's just so awesome. They're so small and easy to travel. So easy to tuck away when you don't need them. And so, so effective. Let's keep moving. Slowly lifting up your hips. Roll the balls even further up the back. So I'm actually coming about to the middle of the thoracic spine. So for my ladies, this is like roughly around the bra line. For my men, you know, this is about through the widest part of your chest, or through the widest part of your rib cage, right behind that spot. So this is where we're really starting to get into the middle of the spine, and you'll notice that your rib cage and your lungs and your diaphragm and all of that in and of itself is already starting to give you a really great amount of pressure down into the balls. And this could really be enough for you. This could be right where you want to be. You can rock side to side or gently roll forward and back a little bit. See what that does for you. And again, right about here, you can still bring the knees in and draw your knees towards your chest to give you that deeper pressure. So it's up to you how much you want, how much you need, and how much you can let go, really. You don't want to force yourself into a deep, deep stretch that you can't release into, right? Our biggest goal, our biggest purpose here is to really find that sweet, soft spot. Where can you release? Where can you let go? How much can you soften? Using the breath. It's a wonderful meditation, going inward, having that conversation with your body, inviting your body to relax. And in time, we'll go ahead and move the balls a little further up your back. As we start to move into the upper parts of the back, you may need to adjust. Instead of lifting your hips to grab your balls, You might just rock side to side, rolling to one side. You can move one ball up a little bit higher, then roll to the other side and move the other ball like adjacent. So they're side by side. And now we're moving to that space kind of right at the base of the shoulder blades. So maybe not quite between the shoulder blades just yet, but on either side of the spine, like right at the tips of the shoulder blades. So this is an area where, you could bring your knees to your chest, start hugging the knees in, but this is going to slowly start to become less effective, but it could still work for you. I mean, it still feels nice. It does give you a little bit of more downward pressure, so you can play with that. You can, again, explore around with kind of lifting the hips up. You don't want to lift your hips too high, but lifting your hips from the floor is definitely going to sink more weight onto the balls, so you can play with that. And of course, you can also explore just a little bit of movement, kind of shifting your weight from side to side or front to back. And I really do encourage you to spend a little extra time if you find those sweet spots where it just feels really yummy, where it feels really, really good to be in that stretch. I encourage you to just give yourself permission to stay with it. Breathe into it. Let yourself soften and release. Now you can spend as much time as you need in any one of these areas. For the purpose of our video today and just working the whole length of the spine, we're going to keep on working up and up and up, gently rolling the balls now, pretty much right directly between the shoulder blades. So we want to bring the balls right in between the shoulder blades. This is an area where we really start to hold and store a lot of tension, especially in this day and age with the computer world, with the cell phone world, with as much time as we spend sitting and driving. So this upper back and shoulders just carry so much tightness and tension. So now we're really starting to get into the good stuff. So here where the spine is curving down towards the floor, you're naturally going to be getting that downward pressure onto the ball. So you might not need to do anything other than just lay here and do your best to relax. Now you can get more by kind of standing into the legs, starting to lift the hips. But that really is going to take you into some pretty deep pressure. So that's only for those of you who really like to bring the heat. But again, we just want to explore, be curious, be gentle. Let yourself be patient with the process, right? Don't just force your body. Don't force your weight in. We want to take it slow and gentle, easing into the body, being present with the sensations. Really notice what you feel and let your breath guide you through the practice, inviting your body to relax more and more and more, taking your time as you say yes to the experience. And when you're ready, we'll keep on moving. Reaching back, we're going to bring the massage balls towards the tops of the shoulder blades. So again, as we're moving up the back, you've got to kind of adjust how you work your balls. So this time I'm going to lift my head and shoulders and bring the balls up and over that way. So again, they are more or less between my shoulder blades, but really like at the top edge of the shoulder blades there. And so now the thoracic spine is starting to curve back up and in towards the neck. So you're not going to get as much of the downward pressure. So the way that we do that is by pressing the shoulders down and back. So we're going to push into the balls. Again, you can use a little power from your legs. You can lift the hips up. That's going to help give you more drive to get down into the balls. So we really want to press into it to your level of comfort, whatever works for you. So we want to be authentic in the practice. You want to be honest with yourself, how much pressure you need. Being slow and gentle as you work your way into the muscles, taking your time to breathe and relax. This really is all about relaxing, all about finding that space of stillness and release, a deep sense of letting go. Release the holding patterns. And when you're ready, you will slowly begin to make your way up into your neck. So the neck is very much still a part of your spine. So we definitely want to include it in our practice today. So again, we're going to take these balls and bring them up behind the curve of your neck. Now, I like to use my hands here to secure the balls in place so they don't try and roll away. But then again, you'll notice because of the curve of your neck curving away from the floor, you're not going to be getting a whole lot of downward pressure. So how do we get the pressure? Simply by tucking your chin down towards your chest. You don't have to lift your head. You just want to tuck the chin down. And that's what's going to give you the pressure. You'll start to feel that working for you. As you're working into the neck, honestly, this is an area that's full of muscles. There's a crazy amount of muscles that it takes to hold your head on. So if you feel like exploring some movement, I definitely encourage you to go slow and make your movements very small, because there's a lot of muscles that are coming in and attaching and overlapping and crisscrossing in and around your neck. So you really want to go gentle as you work into this region. And as you've had a chance to work and release the muscles in the curve of your neck, you're going to roll your balls up to the very base of your skull. So we're coming right into the occipital ridge, right into those attachments where your head attaches to your neck. And again, I'm using my hands to secure the balls in place because they are naturally going to want to roll. And so we want to just give them some security, give them some grounding stability so that you can work the pressure. So again, you can get more pressure by gently tucking your chin down towards your chest and really pressing your head down into the balls. Now, this is an area that you can gently play with turning your head side to side. But again, if you're exploring movement, do it slowly. Nothing jarring, nothing sudden. You really want to take your time as you explore the rotation of your head. So there's a lot of what we call trigger points that hide out in the occipital ridge. Those trigger points are where it feels super loaded, where the pressure is most intense, where you feel the most sensation, right? That's where the tension tends to be concentrated
in those areas of highest sensation. So that's where we want to spend our time. And that's where we want to send the breath to encourage those muscles to relax and release. And once you've had a chance and feel complete, releasing the base of the skull and the back of the neck, we'll slowly release the balls and just let yourself relax, laying on your back here. Take some deep breaths. Just notice how you feel. Notice the flow of energy up and down your spine. And after you've had a chance to take 3 nice, full, deep breaths, and slowly roll yourself over to one side. And then begin to press yourself up into a seat. So coming back to a nice easy seat, just like we first began, let's come back to that seated cat and cow. Inhaling to lift your heart and chest, roll your shoulders back, stretch your front body. Then exhale to curl it in, rounding your back. You can gently lean back to stretch the spine. And again, let's just take a few rounds here, moving at your own pace. And just notice how you feel. Do you notice a difference in the range of motion? Do you notice a difference in the feeling or sensations? Maybe you can find a deeper breath. Maybe you can find a more expansive movement. And when you're ready, we'll resolve and come back to center. And let's explore that twist. Reaching your left hand to your right knee, your right fingertips reach back. Inhale to lift and extend up tall. And as you exhale, try and press yourself a little bit deeper into the twist. Turn your gaze all the way over the right shoulder so you include the neck in your rotation. Twist, twist, twist. And we'll inhale back to center. And then twist on over to the left side as you exhale, bringing your right hand to your left knee, left fingertips reach back. We take an inhale to sit up nice and tall. Lift and extend upward. And as you exhale, press into that left knee, working yourself into a deeper rotation. Nice deep spiral, twisting the heart around. Turn your gaze all the way over your left shoulder, stretching into your neck. And we'll slowly release back to center. Bringing your hands back to your knees, let's wave your spine side to side. Again, just exploring that mobility. Let your head relax and become a part of the movement, waving it side to side. Nice deep breath. And when you're ready, you can gently bring it back to neutral. And one more time, we'll come back to those head rolls, circling your head and neck around. Moving nice and slow, just observing the feeling. You can reverse direction in your own time. Noticing how it feels different, what has changed as a result of our practice. And we'll slowly release back to center. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale a deep breath out. And just thank yourself for carving out the time to take care of your body today. And I thank you for allowing me to be your guide
And big thanks to my friends at the Herbivore for these awesome massage balls. You can learn more about me by visiting my website, jenhilman.com. I would love to connect with you there. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you on your mat again soon. Namaste.